My name is Troyoboyo17. After 6 seasons with Arrow, I've come home with only one goal: to save this series. To do that, I can't make the videos I once did. I have to do something else. I have to make something else. Dun 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 dun. Okay, Arrow is a pile of garbage right now. Like, it went from one of the best shows on TV during the first 2 seasons, and now it's just an insult of what it used to be. I used to fucking love this show. It sparked a new trend of superhero TV, and the first 2 seasons, while they're not perfect, they're really, really good. I could talk for probably hours about why Arrow is trash now. And I would, believe me, ask anybody I know. But that's been done countless times before by people who are way smarter than me. So instead, I'm gonna do something else. I've decided I'm going to take a look at the current state of Arrow, and I'm going to do my best to try and bring back the life and the love that it used to have. I'm not going to do any rewriting of the past seasons of Arrow, even though I'd love to take apart Season 4. I think Season 5 really was a really strong comeback, and I don't want to mess with what was honestly a fucking Bebo Day miracle. So for this video, we're just going to take a look at Season 6 so far, and just what changes we can make to fix up this mess, and what changes we can make for the future. I don't want to get too much into detail with the potential plot of the season, because I'm just a fucking kid who cares way too much about superheroes. Instead, I want this to serve as like an open letter to the head showrunners of Arrow, Mark Guggenheim and Wendy Maracle. This is going to be a sort of outline for how you can make a good Green Arrow show. So whenever you're writing the show, and you think, would this be a good idea? I want you to think back to this video and remember, no, it's not. Stop. Stop whatever you're doing and stop it. Alright, let's just jump into it. I normally like to try and set expectations kind of low for these videos, but it's Arrow. How high can your expectations really be? Stephen Amell is a motherfucking treasure, and you should treat him like that. I hate absolutely everything about this show except for him, except for Oliver Queen. I love him to the point where I put up with this garbage just because I want to see what happens to him and what he does and what he says, and I love him. Except for Season 6, because for a big chunk of what we've had so far, Oliver wasn't the fucking main character. It's like he would make a cameo in each episode just to remind us, hey, Oliver Queen's here, he's pretty cool, he should get his own show someday. So you have this character, well, he's not exactly like the comic Green Arrow, he's still really enjoyable to watch. He's pushed to the side in order to give the spotlight to a certain other character, who's gonna remain nameless, that actively drags the show into shit. So, lesson number 1. Treat Oliver right. Because god damn it, he fucking deserves it. The Arrow ensemble has always been pretty important, not just in the show, but in the source material too. Roy Harper, Mia Dearden, Amika Queen, these characters have a strong relationship with Oliver, and they're important to his character. But holy shit, the team right now is fucking awful. Oh my god, I hate them. We have so many people out in the field. There's like 7 people? 6? Everything just feels so crowded and weird, and that means that Oliver can't shine because there's so many people surrounding him. Something needs to happen to the team to clear it up and cut the number down. So lesson number 2, kill off most of those fuckers. Kill off the team.
Execute Order 66.
Now, if only there were a chance to do that, where everybody was standing around in a place that exploded, and there was potential for some massive fallout, and maybe some consequences for something on the show. For now, let's just focus on how to make a good Green Arrow team. Alright, Guggenheim, I'm gonna make this a multiple choice list for different types of characters who can serve different roles, and you can mix and match them however you want. Feel free to introduce new characters though, like Henry V from the Rebirth comics. He's fucking cool, I dig him, he's not annoying, but just make sure you stick to this simple formula. You have the Archer, and that's obviously Oliver. Nobody else should be Green Arrow. Nobody else. The Canary. Dinah, Sarah, or Laurel. There's actually only one answer to that, but we'll get to that later. And then the sidekick. You can have Roy, you can have Thea, you can have Renee. I like Renee. He's probably the best new character we've had in the past couple of years. Then you have the techie, you have the guy in the chair. You can have Curtis, you can have Diggle, and you can have She Who Must Not Be Named. Diggle is someone who I think works best as emotional support. He's like the Alfred of the team, so he shouldn't be out there in the field shooting up bad guys. It doesn't work for the character, and also it adds too many people in the field. So I don't want to kill him because I like him. So I propose this. During the island explosion, Diggle should get hurt, and he has nerve damage, but it's in his leg instead of his arm. And so now he can't go onto the field of Spartan anymore, and instead he decides he wants to help the team by helping them from the lair and from the tech role. You basically give him Oracle's story arc from when she transitioned from Barbara Gordon into Oracle. So now Diggle has purpose, he has a better story, and he replaces you-know-who on the team, and we'll get to her later, trust me. But for now, let's focus on the blonde who should be a main focus of the show. Dinah Laurel Lance is the second most important character in modern Green Arrow stories, second to only Oliver himself, and that's even debatable sometimes. The two of them have been inseparable for a long-ass fucking time, except for New 52, but they knew they messed up and they fixed that. The relationship is pivotal to these characters in the comics and just in general. It's so important, and I don't understand how you can fuck it up. So, why? I really liked Laurel post season 2. She was annoying in season 2, but she had reason to be annoying. She was a flawed character she needed to grow. But once she finds out that Oliver's the Arrow, I found her really strong and really interesting to watch. She wasn't source material Dinah just yet, but she was kind of getting there. And she would have gotten there if she hadn't been killed for no reason. That's the thing about character development. People grow and change. Look at the difference between Oliver now and Oliver, in season 1. And Dinah Drake is fine, I guess. I like the actress they chose, and she's got some decent moments, especially in season 5. But she doesn't have the emotional connection to Oliver that Laurel did. Laurel was one of the few people on the team who knew Oliver before he went to the island. She knew the man that he was before with the trauma, and she still knows him better than anybody. Dinah just doesn't have that appeal, in my opinion. So just Laurel is the better Canary, and Laurel's a better character. Killing Laurel was the worst mistake the show ever made, and then they doubled down on it with Black Siren. When Black Siren first came in, they lied and they said that Laurel was saved by legends with time travel and stuff, and it was like, perfect, fucking thank God you fixed it. Do that, everything's fixed. You did a great job, Guggenheim, you nailed it. Nice. But then she turned out to be evil and from Earth 2, and they just wasted her as a character. Like, I'd be okay with a Black Siren redemption arc. Again, it's not as interesting as Earth 1 Laurel, but it could be good in theory. I want to make this as simple as possible for you, Guggenheim, so everything can end up as organic as possible. So season 6 should start up, and the team's been reduced to like nothing. Oliver, he's broken and he's fucking destroyed. He walks into the lair, he sits down, he's got basically nobody now. And then we hear a voice, and Oliver turns around to see Laurel, our Laurel from Earth 1, standing in the doorway. She's bruised and bloodied, and she falls to the ground, and the first episode ends. And so the rest of the season, the flashback arc, is showing what happened to Laurel and how she was saved, what she went through. It can be anything. Just bring her back and do her justice. So lesson number 3, don't fuck up my Canary. Green Arrow doesn't have the best rogues gallery, but he has some pretty good ones. There's Count Vertigo, you've got Onomatopoeia, Brick, Clock King, Komodo, and tons more. But there's one thing that all great Arrow villains have, and that's a personal connection to Oliver. The reason that Deathstroke and Prometheus are such great villains is because they represent his flaws and they represent his failures. Slade was a friend turned enemy that will stop at nothing to hurt Oliver because of the person that he was on the island. And Prometheus was the son of one of Oliver's first victims as the Hood, and they each represent the failures and the mistakes that Oliver made in the past, and they bring them to the spotlight. And there's one villain who I think needs to show up on Arrow and who would be the perfect addition. The Dark Archer. No, not that one. This one. Tommy Merlin needs to come back to life. Either through Lazarus Pit, time travel, or whatever, maybe the same thing Laurel had. A resurrected evil Tommy would probably be the most threatening and heartbreaking villain the show has ever had. So lesson number 4. Make compelling villains. Because right now, holy shit, there's like 6 villains now or something like that? And none of them are that interesting. Vigilante was a waste. Hacker guy is dumb. Richard Dragon they also wasted him. But there's one villain who's reigned supreme on the show for way too long. A demon who infiltrated the show and has sapped away the quality over time. Do I really have to talk about her? Like, how? How does something like this happen? Felicity Smoak is a fucking goddamn nobody. She's the stepmother of Firestorm in the comics. And then she was introduced in season 1, and that's also who she was. She was a nobody. She was a one-off IT cutesy, quirky character. And I'll admit, she was fun and she was cute, and she added an element of humor to an otherwise dark and gritty show. So she came back again as a guest, and it was welcome. I liked it. And then she came again as a recurring character. And then she became a series regular, and then now she's the main character. It wouldn't surprise me if we renamed the show Felicity and Friends. I want to get this out of the way first. I have nothing against Emily Bett Rickards. I actually fucking love her. I love her for her personality. She's super funny. I love her for calling out Guggenheim on his sexist bullshit. And she seems to know that her character is garbage. Like, there's nothing wrong with her. I love EBR. Or any actor, for that matter. Anybody who goes after the actors or actresses who play a character that they dislike or who threatens their ship, you are the worst, and you need to understand the difference between fiction and real life. Anyway, back to Satan. There are so many things I can say about why Felicity is bad, about how the relationship is downright abusive. Everybody talks about how great she is. Her fans verbally threaten and attack the other members of the show. Every time she's on screen, I want to throw up, that kind of stuff. But I won't, because people have gone into detail about it. But just to understand how terrible of a person she is, all you need to remember, at the wedding of Barry Allen and Iris West, a relationship we've been building up for 4 years, Felicity Smoak interrupts the ceremony and says,
Wait, just 1 second. If you guys don't mind, or I mean, if you don't mind, really, if you don't mind, would you marry us too? Would you marry me?
and thus, Arrow finally died. Again. It died and then it came back. It's dead. So lesson number 5. Kill Felicity. Or replace her, or have her leave. Honestly, just do whatever it takes to get Felicity off the show. So before we finish up, here's a segment that I like to call Stupid Nitpicks That Probably Only I Want. The suit should be a brighter green. He's Green Arrow, come on. There needs to be more daytime superhero scenes. I really like the daytime Oliver scenes, but I think he should suit up in the day some more. Oliver's beard should grow out just a little bit more. I think Black Canary, who should be Laurel, should ditch the mask and she should start wearing the Prometheus face camouflage thing from season 5. Or she can wear a wig as a civilian like she did in the 90s. More trick arrows. We got Boxing Glove Arrow once. Oliver should be more upfront with his liberal views. This is just because the character is so extremely liberal. That might be a little controversial for CW, and I understand because it is tough to write that sort of thing. I get it. Which leads me to my next point. The political stuff on this show, it should be written by people who are actually competent with these ideas. Gun control should never have been solved by Oliver passing one bill that pleased everybody. Oliver should act more like Oliver when he's in costume. When he's Green Arrow, he's still too much like Batman for me. No more hacking bullshit. No more hacking magic bullshit. It's dumb on any show, so just quit it. And on that topic, if you're gonna write about the internet, know what the internet is. It is not a warehouse in Star City that holds the entire internet. And there's just a bunch of other stupid bullshit things that bug me. But those are the big things. Those are the things that just get to me. Arrow really is a truly terrible show. And I think the most hurtful thing about it is that they had it. They got it right. They fixed it. Season 5 is fantastic. But then season 6 came along and took a shit all over what that season accomplished. I honestly think season 6 is worse than season 4 because they showed that they can actually write a good show in season 5. That they can write a great show. But instead, Guggenheim, you choose not to. And instead, you pander to the toxic and psychotic Felicity crowd and you create a television show that is just downright unbearable to watch. People gave up hope on this show. And honestly, I have too. But I think there is still a chance to pick this up. Probably not this season, but maybe next season. Mark, I don't expect you to actually watch the video the whole way through, but please understand that it is possible to come back from this. You just have to remember to stick to the core values of the show and follow the 5 simple rules that I've laid out for you. If you can do that, Arrow really does have a chance of becoming amazing again. You can be the Lazarus Pit to revive this show. But if not, then you really have failed this series. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, remember to like, comment, hit that subscribe button if you want to stick around. I've got a ton of videos in the pipeline. I'm working on some cosplay stuff, some more Fanboy rewrites, just a bunch of just crazy stuff. So yeah, be sure to stick around. I do stuff like this relatively often, like once a month I try. Yeah, so see you guys later.